had a pretty good weekend last week. I saw Green Day performing live. Dolphins won their third straight game, beating the Bills, going 3-0.
The clock is at 3.
Literally nothing can take away from the wonderful weekend I've had. Nope, nothing can take away from it. Congrats, Uncle David. Let's go ahead and look at week 3. Starting off, we have the Battle of the Davids. That's right, David versus Uncle David. David looked like the favored winner to win. However, thanks to David Montgomery going down, Uncle David is going to take this week, beating David 95-98, meaning that Uncle David gets his first win of the season, going 1-2, and David will fall to 1-2. Our next game of the week is another Cinderella story. That's right, it's Alexa versus Bob. Now coming into this week, Alexa had no wins, but she's actually going to take this week, beating Bob 142-134, meaning Alexa will now rise to 1-2, and Bob will fall to 1-2. Next up, we almost had another Cinderella story in Danielle versus Chris. Danielle came out pretty decently this week. However, mostly in part thanks to the Philadelphia defense being a monster, Chris is going to beat Danielle this week. Chris beats Danielle 156-132, meaning that Chris will now rise to 2-1, and unfortunately, Danielle will fall to 0-3. Our next game of the week is the domestic abuse sequel, Justin versus Kelly. Now, Kelly looked good coming into this match, being 2-0. However, Justin is going to beat his wife. Justin beats Kelly 154-120, meaning that Justin will now rise to 2-1, and Kelly will fall to 2-1, and meaning that of the two couple games that we've had this year, the men have won both times. It's a great week to have a penis. 6 hours later. And our final game of the week is Kyle versus William. Now, both teams came into this week 2-0, both hoping to keep their undefeated streak alive, but only one of them is going to do it. And unfortunately for everyone, that person is Kyle. Kyle goes ahead and beats William 127-116, meaning that William will fall to 2-1, and unfortunately Kyle will rise to 3-0. Alright, now before we go ahead and look at week 4, let's have a word from our sponsors.
It's hurricane season again, and when I need to make sure everything in my life is safe and secure, there's only one thing I reach for: my duct tape. With duct tape, I can fix holes in hoses, repair tears in tents, and secure my windows in case a storm comes. I even use it to keep my most valuable items secure.
Duct tape for all your safety needs. Blue is the inclusive candidate you need. Well, frankly, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. Blue is also incredibly fair to journalists, but a stupid son of a bitch. Blue, ahead of his time. Well, frankly put it, the pandemic is over. Blue, taking meetings with foreign nationals quite seriously. Blue, right for America, right for you. Alright, now let's go ahead and take a look at week 4. Starting match we have is the 1-2 David, hot off of a loss, unfortunately, to Uncle David, and Justin, hot off of a win of beating his wife at 2-1. Good luck to both of you. Next up, it's the 2-1 Chris, who's on a hot streak, versus the 1-2 Alexa, who's trying to get something going here. Will the defense win, or will the quarterbacks win? We'll see what happens next week. And then we have the 0-3 Danielle, desperately looking for her first win, versus the 1-2 Uncle David, hot off beating David. We'll see how that one goes. 6 hours later. The next game we have is the 2-1 William taking on the 1-2 Bob. Bob trying to come back, and William trying to recover after losing to Kyle this week. Our final game of the week is Kelly at 2-1 versus Kyle at 3-0. Kelly, please win. For the love of God, Kelly, please win. Alright, as always, please continue to keep checking free agency for any free and available players that you might need to bolster your rosters. Also, we're going into week 4 next week, which means we have week 4 and week 5, and then after that, bye weeks start. Once week 6 hits, bye weeks begin, so make sure you have substitutes for any of your positions that'll be out due to bye weeks. Also, to any of those who are affected, there is a hurricane potentially coming up to the west coast of Florida, so please make sure you take appropriate safety measures and take care of yourselves. And a happy thing to follow up on, last week we mentioned that Maureen had a GoFundMe page listed for her new lung transplant. She got those lungs last week and seems to be doing fine as of right now. Still, keep her in your thoughts, and Maureen, we couldn't be happier for you. So until next week, everyone be safe out there, given the fact that there's a storm out there, and I will see you next time. Continuing our kitten introductions from last week, I'd like you all to meet Merlin. Merlin is a very cuddly, very curious, and very frisky cat. He will play with literally anything, including your hair. He's adorable, and I love him.